Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Clique, and today we're going to be ranking my top 5 personal favorite 60% keyboards. Keep in mind that these are all keyboards that I own, and this is just my own personal list. This is not objective. If you have your own list, let me know down below in the comment section. But I just wanted to rank some of the keyboards that I've gotten over the past, months that I've been doing my channel, and just let you guys know which ones I like and why I would rank a certain keyboard over another. And yeah, there's some good keyboards on this list, so make sure you guys watch the video all the way to the end. I think this would be cool just to rank the favorite 60% keyboards that I've gotten since I started the channel, and I've just gotten a pretty good collection of keyboards that I really like, and I just want to tell you guys why I rank certain keyboards over others and what I look for, and more of just what my preferences are when it comes to my 60% keyboards. Keep in mind that these are all keyboards that I personally own. This isn't a comprehensive list of all the 60% keyboards and which ones would be my favorite. These are just keyboards that I personally own and that ones that I like and ones that I want to rank on this list. Also, before we get into the video, if you haven't already, please hit that like button since it really does help with the channel. And if you're new here, I make all types of content on gaming tech, so if you're interested in this type of content, consider checking out the channel and subscribing. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. So starting off our list at the number 5 spot, we have the RAZER HUNTSMAN Mini. And before we get into this really quickly, again, I don't think any of these keyboards are necessarily bad. I just like some of them more than others, and this is just my personal ranking. So the RAZER HUNTSMAN Mini is a $120 keyboard that comes in 2 switch options. So you get the Clique optical purple switches or the Clique optical linear switches, which are the red switches. I think the purple switches are actually my favorite Clique switch, but one thing that I do not like is the price point. $120 is a lot to ask for, and I know this is a mass-produced RAZER board, so having hot swap into the board, might be a QC nightmare. There's a lot of user error that could be involved there, but it's still $120, and I've had a couple of issues that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about. But one of the issues that I have on this keyboard is that there is an issue with some of the keys that get stuck, and I think it's a problem with the stabilizers on the keyboard. So the design of the RAZER switch isn't regular. They have stabilizers on the switches, and while that could seem like a good thing, sometimes the actual switch will get stuck on the wire. It'll just be pressed down and stuck on the letter S, or stuck down on the letter A, and it happens on the shift and the caps key as well. So that's an issue that I've ran into. It does have an aluminum frame, so that is really nice, and it does have the PVD keycaps and a standard bottom row, but I feel like, especially at this price point, it just has to offer something else that really makes it worth this extra cost. And I know the RAZER HUNTSMAN T is priced, especially high, and having the HUNTSMAN Mini, I would have liked to see the price point just a little bit lower, especially considering that it is a 60% board, so you're not even getting the full, arrow keys and numpad functionality. That's part of the reason why I have it ranked on the number 5 spot. I don't know, I just feel like for $120, there could have been more done here, and that issue that I have is really annoying, where some of the switches will actually get stuck on the wire. So those are some of the reasons why I have it ranked at the bottom of the list. But if they could really just lower the price of the HUNTSMAN Mini and just keep it there, this would actually probably go higher on my list. So next on the list, we have the Matrix Clix keyboard, and just like the HUNTSMAN Mini, another big issue I have with this keyboard is the price, and that's because the specs of this keyboard is extremely similar to the GK61, except that the price is a lot higher. It's $115, but with tax and shipping, you might end up spending up to $130 to $135 just to get this keyboard. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with this keyboard. It has a lot of great features like Gator-on switches, you get hot swap, PVD backlit keycaps, and just the overall design is really clean. I like it. If you want to support Clix, or you're just a fan of this red colorway and design with these keycaps, it could be worth the money for you. I know for me, I was just really excited about it, and I've wanted to make a video on it, and I did when it came out. I made multiple videos on this keyboard, but the actual value of this keyboard isn't that great, considering you can get a GK61 that'll basically do the same thing. And in fact, if you want optical switches, the GK61 offers optical switches, while these are mechanical switches. It really just is a value proposition thing, but like I said, there is some cool stuff here. The Matrix software I really do not like. It's really convoluted and complicated, so that's kind of a downside. You can change the RGB on the keyboard itself, so it's not too big of a deal, but I do wish they would fix the software, or at least just make it a whole lot simpler, because there's a lot you can do as far as customization, but I feel like it's convoluted and just clunky. I feel like it really just needs to be completely redone and made a lot more simple and clear. And if you're curious, on this keyboard, I got the speed silver switches, so I'll show you guys that really quick. here you guys can see, got the speed silver switches. I don't think it's ridiculously overpriced considering it is like a collab board, but if all you care about is getting the most bang for your buck, then yeah, I would not recommend this. Moving on to the next keyboard on our list, we have the GK61. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't have my MZ60 anymore. I actually loaned it to someone, but if you are wondering, I would replace the GK61 with the MZ60 if I could, but since I still have my GK61 right now, this is the third pick on our list. So what makes the GK61 so good is that it is a great budget option. Whether it's on TikTok or YouTube or pretty much anywhere else, people know that GK61 is just a great budget option as far as what you're getting here. You're getting optical switches, you're getting that hot swap functionality, you're getting pretty good ABS keycaps, you know, the stabilizers, and as far as the sound profile could be improved, but you can do that with basically any keyboard that has hot swap. You get a detachable USB Type-C, and you get 4 rubber feet on the back, and this is overall a really good value. The price of the GK61 has been going up a lot recently, and I think that's because HK Gaming has just realized that people are buying it because there was a lot of hype about the Gatoron optical yellow switches, and in fact those are the switches that I do have on this keyboard. Yeah, as you can see, I got the Gatoron optical yellow switches, and there are some good switches. They're really smooth, and I don't even think they are technically the fastest switches, but I know they are considered pretty fast and they are really smooth, and I like how they feel for gaming, so that's all that really matters to me. But yeah, you just get a lot of great things here, especially at the good price point of what it used to be was about $60 to $80. Now it's even gone up to $90, so the value of it's actually going down. If you can get it from somewhere like Banggood at a cheaper price, then I would recommend that. But I know right now, as of the time I'm recording this video, I'm looking at it and it's about $90 on Amazon for optical yellows and just $80 for a mechanical version. So it's not as good as it used to be, but I think it's still a great option, and you can customize it, change the keycaps out, change the switches, and just make sure that you get the mechanical version if you want mechanical switches swapped, or optical if you want to switch with opticals. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we got the DUCKY MECHA Mini. This is a keyboard that has a special place in my heart because it's one of the first keyboards that I actually talked about on Clique. Not only that, but it's just a really nice keyboard. I like the frozen llama design that it has. I'm just going to consider this the DUCKY MECHA Mini in general. That keyboard is $120, so I think it's a pretty good value. While it doesn't have some of those features that I would have liked at a $120 price point, it makes up for it in build quality and just the overall design and aesthetic of this keyboard. I'm just gonna say this right now, the DUCKY MECHA Mini has the best RGB lighting out of all my keyboards, even my number 1 spot, and definitely better than my number 1 spot. But it just has great lighting. It has 3 LEDs under the space bar. I've customized it, if you're wondering. I've put on the DUCKY rubber keycaps on the left side, and then for my IJKL, I've actually put on some Taihao keycaps. I think this is a pretty cool combination of keycaps that I have on here, and then the rest of the keycaps are just the default frozen llama keycaps that come with the keyboard. And I just really like these special touches like these snowflakes, the frozen llama design. It tells you which round you got. I got the first round, and yeah, it's a collab between DUCKY and Mechanical Keyboards. It has that really nice aluminum build quality, and just like the feet on here are just feel super satisfying to press up and down. Also has the 4 rubber feet on the bottom as well to keep it steady. It's just really nice. The stabilizers, the typing feel is really good on here, and I really haven't had to do anything as far as modding the keyboard. One thing I want to mention is that the typing feel of DUCKY keycaps is really good, and I know that they do use a PBD material, but something about their keycaps, I just really like them, and the legends and the fonts are always super clear, and it just feels nice to the touch. And I'm gonna be honest, the overall typing feel, aesthetic, and the RGB lighting definitely adds to me putting this a higher spot on my list. And just overall, everything about it feels really premium, well made, and I just really like the design. And yeah, it's just a great keyboard. It also has detachable USB Type-C, and I feel like even though it is at that higher $120 price point, it is a 60% keyboard, and I criticize the RAZER for it, I feel like the DUCKY MECHA Mini makes me feel like it's actually worth the purchase just because of the overall build quality. I like the keycaps better. I think the stabilizer is better. The typing feel is better, and I don't have that weird issue where some of the keys will get stuck when I press them on the keyboard. So I feel like if I'm gonna spend $120 on a 60% keyboard that doesn't even have hot swap, they better make it feel premium, and the DUCKY MECHA Mini definitely does feel really premium. And coming in at the number 1 spot on my favorite 60% keyboards, we got the glorious GMMK. I know what you might be thinking. what makes this keyboard so special? What makes me want to put this at the #1 spot? And it really just comes down to a couple of things. One, the price. You can get a bare bones GMMK for only $60, or you can get a fully decked out one for about $110 with keycaps and switches put in your keyboard. Now, with that being said, this is an aluminum build quality, really nice. This is the white ice edition, so it does have a detachable USB Type-C, and it's still only $110. You get the aluminum backplate, you get the swappable switches, and I've actually swapped out the keycaps and the switches that I came with. I believe I just got black keycaps with brown switches. I've now switched those out with Holy Pandas and Matrix Cotton Candy pudding keycaps. So a really nice tactile in the Holy Pandas, and Matrix has some of the best quality keycaps that I've used, and they just feel really nice to the touch, and so I can't complain about that. And I know that isn't the keyboard itself, but just the overall value you're getting. Aluminum build quality, hot swap for $110. I've really had no issues with the keyboard. There's onboard lighting controls. The glorious software is usable, easy to understand, and I haven't had any issues with that. The stock stabs, while they could be better, aren't bad, and I haven't felt the need to mod them yet, but eventually I think I will, and clip them and lube them. But yeah, you just get a lot of control, customization, and just ease of use with the GMMK. And now the only really negative thing I can say about the GMMK is the RGB is so dim, like extremely dim, and it kind of is a bummer because I have keycaps that are pudding keycaps that would be perfect for bright RGB, like on the Ducky MECHA Mini. The pudding keycaps are completely illuminated and it looks how it should. On the GMMK, it's so dull. It's even kind of hard to tell sometimes on camera if I'm just facing it like this. But besides that, functionality wise, it's great. It's just, you know, I wish aesthetic wise it was a little bit better, but I do value functionality over aesthetic, so that's why I do have the GMMK over the MECHA Mini. And also, this is cheaper than the MECHA Mini, despite both of them having aluminum and this having hot swap and the MECHA Mini not having hot swap. So I feel like that's another reason why I ranked it higher. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for my top 5 ranking keyboards video. If you enjoyed it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, since it really does help with the channel. If you want to purchase any of these keyboards, I'll make sure to put links to all of them down below in the description. Like always, you guys are the best. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.